every day is a gift, and just enjoy the day and be present. You know, to go out there and run these races and to be in the moment and get in the flow state, you gotta be present. Just take it one breath at a time.
In 2020, the Indian Challenger officially became the King of the Baggers. These are the stories of 3 teams and riders prepared to defend the crown.
Try to catch me howling at the moon.
Last October in Laguna Seca, Moto America debuted King of the Baggers, an unorthodox exhibition where 15 600-pound V-twin monsters invaded the paddock much like an unruly gang of bikers might invade a dinner party. But instead of crashing the party, the spectacle of these heavyweights duking it out at speeds of 130 miles per hour ended up stealing the show. The weekend star was road racer turned bagger brawler Tyler O'Hara, who piloted one of only 2 Indian motorcycles against a field of 13 Harley-Davidsons. Riding for the SNS Cycles racing team aboard the Indian Challenger, O'Hara turned in a performance worthy of a king to earn the inaugural King of the Baggers title.
It was just such an awesome experience to be able to represent Indian motorcycle on the new Indian Challenger. And very difficult as far as the competition. We were 2 Indians out of 14 Harleys, and very glad that I got to hold up my end of the bargain and win the race.
King of the Baggers is important to Indian motorcycle because it's become the pinnacle of racing in America. Last year we came into this bagger racing thing thinking, yeah, this is interesting, and it just blew up. It became the most watched race on 2 wheels in the United States. So being an American company and a very American race, taking American baggers out on a track, it's the coolest thing ever. The fans are responding, and we won the title. So this year is all about hanging on to that crown, and everybody's coming for it.
Now, one might assume that defending the crown would be challenge enough. But if you do, then you just don't understand Tyler O'Hara. As the season opener approaches at Road Atlanta, he's decided to take on a challenge of entirely different proportions, doubling the fun 81 miles south at the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
So I've been planning to race the American Flat Track wild card with American Flat Track at the Atlanta Super TT since last year. So I've had this on the calendar for a while, and then the King of the Baggers schedule comes out, and then it just happened to be the same weekend, and the guys asked me if I still wanted to do it, and I said, heck yeah, you know, I want to take advantage of this opportunity, and you know, the logistics and just driving around and stuff are going to be a little bit of a grind, but this is the weekend you live for as a racer.
Make no mistake, this sort of undertaking is not the norm. These are radically different forms of racing, requiring radically different skill set. Road racing is a sophisticated dance between bike and rider on a predictable surface, an exercise in technical precision. Flat track is a far more physical endeavor, with riders manhandling bikes on a dirt surface that's ever-changing over the course of a race, increasingly inconsistent and unpredictable. Aside from his own skill, O'Hara will have 2 things working in his favor. He'll be piloting the most dominant purpose-built machines for each of these racing formats: the Indian Challenger Performance Bagger and the Indian FTR 750 Flat Track Racer. For O'Hara, this weekend is by no means a sprint. It's a marathon. Viewing it in its entirety will only magnify its magnitude. Instead, it's each mile, each task, one at a time, moment by moment.
As a kid, you dream about being at the highest level and racing with the best guys, and to be the best, you got to beat the best, you know, and this is my time. I ride with a chip on my shoulder. It means a lot for me to have an opportunity and really go out there and try to showcase my talents and prove myself.
As with any athletic endeavor, practice can certainly make perfect. O'Hara will begin this 3-day odyssey with practice sessions at both tracks, beginning with the twists, turns, and high-speed backstretch of Road Atlanta. The Road Atlanta session will be followed by a session at the American Flat Track's Atlanta TT. That is, if time permits. As demanding as tackling 2 separate races will be, O'Hara will be facing a 3rd challenge, the 81 miles on Atlanta's Interstate 85 that connect Road Atlanta with Atlanta Motor Speedway. Ohara will make this commute on Friday. He'll ultimately make this commute 4 times over 2 days and nights between practice sessions and races at the 2 venues. For most people, the notion of what Ohara is taking on this weekend would be ludicrous. But Ohara is a different breed, the result of a small-town upbringing and a blue-collar work ethic.
Yeah, so I'm from a small town in Northern California, Petaluma, California. There's a lot of dairy farmers, and I'm a second-generation motorcycle racer. My dad raced, my brothers raced, my sisters raced. You know, we all grew up racing and riding, and you know, we were like the Clampetts. We'd have a van with 6 bicycles on the roof and a motorhome trailer that we blew out the top and had the stove on, and we had 6 bikes on there side by side.
With the weekend's first commute completed, Ohara shifts gears from road racer to flat tracker. Thanks to the long commute, he's missed the majority of the Atlanta TT practice, but he's arrived just in time for the final session. Over the course of the day, the track has taken quite the beating, resulting in what is now an unpredictable labyrinth of tattered and rutted red clay. As night falls, a long and grinding day 1 comes to its end.
The track was super rough, and the bike was a little bit stiff, and we got a little western, and we were bucking and sliding around, and just I know what I need to work on and a couple areas that I need to clean up. Track is very technical. Honestly though, I felt really good on the bike for not really having much time on it.
It's a beautiful Saturday morning in Atlanta. Blue skies, 70 degrees, and a calm breeze. An ideal day to go flat track racing. But for Ohara, there's still work to be done in the qualifying session for King of the Baggers. Like a quarter horse finally unleashed from its corral, the Indian Challenger runs free like the dominant performance bagger that it is. Its superior chassis, planted firmly as its finely tuned suspension, absorbs the climbing, diving, twisting terrain of road Atlanta. When it's all said and done, Ohara has qualified first, earning the pole position for Sunday's final. He heads out on Atlanta's I-85, feeling satisfied.
I started out like P3 and worked on my tempo, my rhythm, and my flow, and just knew I needed to do 1 perfect lap, and then kind of chipped away at it and kind of cleaned up my segments and ended up P1. And so we're going to start on the front row for pole for tomorrow's race, and all in all, it was a good time, good vibes.
In a journey marked by short-term goals, qualifying first for tomorrow's final is certainly satisfying. But it's all quickly put aside because today is race day at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And here, Ohara is hardly the king.
And if he can road race a bagger, I'm sure that he can figure out how to dirt track an FTR that's meant to do that. One thing that's going to help him out is being a TT and being more of a super TT setup with having the asphalt and the dirt. With his, experience being on asphalt, a little more so some of the dirt trackers, that'll help him out. I think he'll be able to figure it out, but it's going to have his hands full.
Finally, after all the preparation, practice sessions, and 243 miles of minivan commutes, it's time to go racing. The Atlanta TT comes to an end with Tyler Ohara finishing middle of the pack, in 8th place. It's a more than respectable showing for a rider who's thrown himself into the deepest end of the flat track racing pool. But to hear it from Ohara, you'd think he just climbed down off the podium.
I'm feeling very proud, and I'm just like I'm floating on a cloud, it was a big undertaking. It was tough. A lot of positive stuff came from this, and I'm just super pumped, and it was just like a dream, man. It was awesome.
Today, Tyler Ohara was a bright-eyed pup, out running with the big dogs. Tomorrow, he'll be the king, defending his crown. Sunday is here, and with it, the pinnacle of Tyler Ohara's 3-day exercise in extremes. It's time for the king to reestablish his rightfully earned claim. Time to defend the crown. There's nothing quite as motivating as achieving a lifelong ambition, especially when it occurs the night before. For Ohara, last night's flat track experience only elevates his confidence heading into the King of the Baggers final. But today is different. For a rider experiencing his first taste at flat track racing's highest level, running middle of the pack can leave you feeling on top of the world. But for the reigning King of the Baggers, there can be only one outcome: finishing on top of the box. After running 1 and 2 throughout practice and qualifying, the prevailing expectation is a showdown between Ohara and Harley-Davidson factory rider Kyle Wyman. And on this day, expectation was indeed reality.
Time to get the thunderous sound of baggers in the air here at Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta. Our first race of the season, Tyler O'Hara having a problem off the line, but Kyle Wyman with a good launch, so our pole sitter will slot back to third place.
A rough start for Ohara results in a commanding lead for Wyman. But this challenge could not be more fitting.
O'Hara gets back by as they go down into turn 1.
Tyler O'Hara's grueling weekend has been all about moments. One task at a time. One practice at a time.
And Tyler O'Hara trying to get into a tuck.
One flat track race at a time. One 81-mile commute at a time. Why should the King of the Baggers final be any different?
O'Hara, who's going to school on Kyle Wyman, is he going to do it? Down the hill he goes, trying to get that motorcycle stopped. Tyler O'Hara with a big move under braking, takes over the lead. Here comes Kyle Wyman. Is it about that Harley-Davidson horsepower? Can he do it? It's Kyle Wyman back to the lead.
One section at a time.
Now he's thrown his first shot. We're going to have a look at these splits.
One shift at a time.
On the brakes, trying to get position. Kyle letting off the lever, but they're side by side. So it's going to be Tyler O'Hara who will take it up and over the hill and down into the final corner.
Back straight up, but look how much Kyle closes up.
One turn.
Top little S section, right onto the back of him now, Greg.
Could that be the... Here it comes, Indian versus Harley-Davidson.
One backstretch.
Final corner, on the brakes is Tyler O'Hara, successfully through, and he will drive his way to the first victory of Mission King of the Baggers in 2021.
And one checkered flag.
What a great race, margin of victory, less than half a second.
Oh, it feels good, man. To be able to finish it like that doesn't get any better, you know.
I knew it was going to be tough. I got a terrible start, not my ideal start, not what I visualized and not what I was planning on doing. And Kyle got away. He was out front and he was taking it to me, and just I wasn't good enough the first couple laps, but I just kept chipping away at it, and then started making some moves, and I put everything into this, and I just feel exhausted now, but I'm just thrilled with victory. You just got to take it one step by step. It's inch by inch. I had to just be here and now. Yogi, breathe, be here, be grounded. Every day is a gift, and just enjoy the day and be present. You know, to go out there and run these races and to be in the moment and get in the flow state, you got to be present. Just take it one breath at a time.